Hi there. Feliz Dia de los Muertos. Welcome also to the month of November, where we honor Santa Muerte in the Mount Shasta Goddess Temple. We honor her in her many different robes and different walks in the world, but primarily as the one who holds that space at the gate between life and death. And so we are moving into this month with a new prayer and a new oracle deck. So the new prayer we're going to be doing starting today for the whole month of November is a prayer that I found online. It didn't have any attribution, but I set it to music and I turned it into a song. And the deck that we're going to be using for this month is the Jade Oracle Deities and Symbols of Ancient Mexico by Veronica Iglesias and Anne Key, with artwork by Ramona Snoteo. It's a beautiful deck, and you can find this deck at thejadeoracle.com or goddess-ink.com. And in this deck, there are, deities and symbols that are taken from ancient Mesoamerican art and reliefs and paintings and temples. It's a really powerful deck. And Santa Muerte has somewhat of a mixed reputation insofar as a folk saint, she's not exactly a goddess, but we wouldn't consider her to be like a human who died and became a saint either. She is a saint of spirit. She is the saint of a powerful force in the world, and that force is death. And it's the great unifying force of our world. It's the force that greets everyone who lives at some point: animals, plants, humans. So, the other aspect is that Santa Muerte is sometimes thought of as being scary, and she can be because death can be scary. We don't know when it will happen. There's a lot of unknowns. Some people die violent deaths. There are tragedies that happen, but she can also be kind and merciful. She can be the one who gives the relief of pain. She can be the one who brings an end to horrible circumstances. And she's also the one who can gently close the eyes of someone who has lived a full and happy life and carries them gently into the next world. So when we honor Santa Muerte, we are honoring death in all its manifestations as a leveling, equalizing force. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. It doesn't matter what your background is. It doesn't matter whatever you've been through. We will all meet this force at some point. We honor her as such. And this means that everybody gets to pray to her. So, people you don't like, people who scare you, people who do bad things, they also get to pray to her just the same way that a good and virtuous person gets to pray to her. In that she is also a leveling and a reckoning. She doesn't care what you've done and who you've been. She's going to welcome you either way. And she's going to give you the opportunity to close your eyes as if it were at the end of the day and go to sleep. And so we go to Santa Muerte asking in this life for myself and all those I love, may we, when it is our time, have a good death, not come to violent end, not come to something horrible, not get caught up in some tragedy. May we have a good death, a peaceful death. And I've been honoring Santa Muerte now for over a decade. And she has helped me in my work as a death doula. I don't really talk about being an end of life doula. I haven't taken any training programs really. Like I took one, but I haven't gone out there and participated in that kind of like more commercial aspect of it. I don't charge money for it. I don't put myself out there as if I'm a service provider for it. Rather, I've been an end of life doula for a number of people who just came to me during the course of their lives because they didn't have anyone else to be that for them. And usually, elderly people with terminal illnesses, or people who had no children, no family, or people who had had a terrible falling out with their families and couldn't go to them. And I've been that person for a number of people where I was that person who made sure that someone checked on them, who made sure they went to the other side with peace, who made sure to call the hospitals when they were sick, who literally took them to doctor's visits and things like that, and who visited them in hospice at the end, and then who has honored and elevated their spirit each Dia de los Muertos after their death. And so for Rev, for Donna, for Helen, for Linda, those are the ones that I was especially close to over the years. And in a way, for my own father, because even though no one around him seemed to know that his death was coming, I did. And I think he did too. And we cleaned our relationship up by the end. And that was something that I had asked Santa Muerte to help me with. May we all clean it up by the end. So, saying hello here to Theodora, Denise, Steve, and Kat, and whoever's here on YouTube, hello. So, let's now sing in Santa Muerte. I wanted to be on here yesterday for Dia de los Inocentes, but um, my house has some construction stuff going on and it was just not possible. But today I'm here, so let's sing her in. Madre mía, Santa Muerte, ante las dificultades de la vida, ayúdame. En mis desaciertos, ilumíname. En mis soledades, acompáñeme. En las horas difíciles, fortaléceme. En más tentaciones, defiéndeme. En las peñas y tristezas, consuélame. Con tu inmenso poder, protégeme. Con tu infinito amor, ámame. Con tu gran bondad, mírame. Con tu mano providente, guíame. Así sea por siempre. Amén. Sihuateotl, Sihuateotl, Sihuateotl. Hi, Natalie. Sacred woman, divine woman, mujer divina. Sihuateotl is a woman who has died in childbirth and then becomes a divine being. She appears when you are in the moment of having lost everything: your work, your identity, your inner child, and your dreams, everything that was created in your womb. She shows the promise of life after loss. Sihuateotl is also guardian of the sun and thus a powerful being. From noon to dusk every day, these spirits travel with the sun, guarding it on its journey. When she comes to you, know that even after losing everything, she is your guardian, protecting your way forward. What a powerful divination to start Dia de los Muertos. Partially because for those of us who have ever lost a pregnancy, a child, you know that feeling of absolute devastation where it feels like you're being ripped apart from the inside. And then also, for those of us who have been through tremendous loss of those we love, those we care for, those who we were friends with, or were our family members, or were people that we held in great esteem, and then having them either cross over that form of loss or actually literally losing them in this life where they're no longer in our lives. This is very powerful medicine for that. Sifuatil says there is life after loss. Turn your face to the sun. Welcome the day because you are alive. And this life is your life. And it's your responsibility to do with it what you can, regardless of what's happened to you or around you. You get to create who you are going to be. And you get to experience the fullness of life after loss, even up to and including all the grief, all the pain, but also all the joy, all the possibility, all the potential, all of the rising of new. Kat says, "This is beautiful and I needed to hear this." I'm so glad, Kat. I think all of us know what it feels like to have those moments in life, and it's on a scale, but those moments in life where we just feel like the bottom drops out of absolutely everything. And you're adrift in space and you don't even know who you are in that space. You don't know who you're meant to be in that space. You might feel very fearful. You might feel really sad. You might go through a terrible identity crisis. If I am this person after this loss, who is this person after this loss? Sifuateot, all of the Sifuateot, they say, we know. There we were on the verge of life. We had made the little blankets. We had set the little bassinet or the little basket. We had gotten our moms or our friends to come and make sure that there was food after the birth. We had prepared our husbands, our partners, our families, that there was going to be a new life. And now, regardless of whether that baby is still alive or not, we're not here to participate in what happens next. We transcend and transform and become something else. And you can too. whatever you've loved and lost. You get to transform, to rise like a phoenix and have a fresh start. Today, let's embrace that. That's our short bit for today. And now let's dive into Guanyin practice. We're going to begin with 3 prostrations before the shrine of Guanyin. And let's take refuge. Namo Guru Be. I take refuge in the inner teacher. Namo Buddhaye. I take refuge in the great mother of compassion. Namo Dharmaye. I take refuge in the wisdom of the ages. Namo Sanghaye. I take refuge in the community of practitioners. And let's set our intentions, a person, place, situation, or circumstance that will benefit from today's practice. And I wanted to do this yesterday. I want to dedicate this practice to all of the lives that are currently being wiped off the planet, especially the children in the Middle East, in Palestine. As we watch the unfolding of this horrific genocide carried out by those who should know better. And let's recite the 4 immeasurables. May I be a source of loving kindness in this world and all worlds, bringing a generous heart to all my thoughts and doings. May I be a vehicle of compassion in this world and all worlds, ever mindful and aware of the tremendous suffering of others. May I be a brimming vessel of joy in this world and all worlds, delighting in the happiness of others as their suffering is alleviated. May I be a balance point of equanimity in this world and all worlds, seeing all as equals and all as deserving of goodness. I light this candle as a symbol of the enlightening Dharma way. May it shine brightly for the benefit of all beings. I light this incense as an offering to Quan Shi Yin, she who hears the cries of the world, mother of all. Omahom. Om Ahum. 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 Reverently, I prostrate with my body, speech, and mind and present clouds of every type of offering, actual and virtual. I confess all my destructive actions accumulated since beginningless time and rejoice in the meditation of all holy and ordinary beings. Please, Guanyin, remain until the end of samsaric existence and turn the wheel of Dharma for sentient beings. I dedicate my own merits and those of others to the great enlightenment. 108 recitations of Namo Guanxi Pusa, calling on Guanyin and asking her to please bestow grace and blessing on all of those who are suffering now, and asking Santa Muerte to please carry those souls over the threshold of death as gently and lovingly as possible, escorting them into the light. Namo Guanxi Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Pusa. Namo Guanxi Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Pusa. Namo Guanxi Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Pusa. Namo Guanxi Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Pusa. Namo Guanxi Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Pusa. Namo Guanxi Pusa, 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 Namo Guanxi Pusa. Namo Guanxi Pusa, Namo Guanxi Pusa, Namo Guanxi Pusa, Namo Guanxi Pusa, Namo Guanxi Yin 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 Pusa. And the prayer for the Mani reciter of Calm by Gyaltse Tokme Zangpo. Lama Dankun Shuksum Lakchak Tsalo, Dakni Changchuk Nimpor Chike Bar, Gangdang Gangdu Kepa de Dangder, Tadu Tuje Champo Chitzin Ching, Gusum Gewe Chila Chaparsho, Jamdang Ningje Champo, Kunlang Ne, Tuje Champo Duljar Girpa Nam, Lame Changchuk Chola Gope Chir, Tuje Champo Trinle Je Parsho. Homage to the Guru in Three Jewels. From now until I reach the essence of awakening, wherever I may be reborn, in that place may I always follow the great compassionate one and dedicate my body, speech, and mind to virtue. Inspired by loving kindness and great compassion, in order to lead all Mahakarunika's followers to supreme and unsurpassable awakening, may I carry out the great compassionate one's activity. Lama Dankun Tuksum Lak Chaksa Lo Dakni Changchuk Nipor Chike Bar Gangdang Gangdu Kepa de Dang Der Tadu Tuje Champo Chitzin Ching Gusum Gewe Chila Chipar Sho Jamdang Ningje Champo Kunlang Ne Tuje Champo Duljar Girpa Nam Lame Changchu Chola Gope Cheer Tuje Champo Trinle Jepar Sho. And now 108 recitations of Om Mani Padme Hum, calling out to Guan Yin and asking her to please help us to heal and to send forth the healing that we have to offer into the world. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum, Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 And let's give thanks for our teachers. May all of my blessed teachers enjoy long, happy, healthy, productive lives and great support for their good works. May all beings benefit from their wisdom. May they enjoy a swift and happy rebirth. And long life prayer for Lama Dechen Yeshe Wangmo. Om Swasti. Through the powerful blessings of the immortal Pema Jungye and his consort, may the three secret qualities of the Dakini of Supreme Bliss Yeshe Wangmo be utterly stable, and may the light of her activities shine on the lotus groves of the teachings and of beings so that they blossom in radiant splendor. And let's dedicate the merit. May the merit of this practice and all of my activities be of endless benefit to all beings in all realms, beginningless and continuous. May all obstacles be overcome and suffering cease at the sound of liberation. May all beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all beings have happiness and its causes. May we carry the essence of Guanyin in our hearts. Namo Guanxin Pusa. And we close with a bow to Guanyin, a bow to one another, and a bow to the inner teacher, and wishing you a beautiful day, a day of honoring the ancestors and of remembering that after every death, there is a form of rebirth. Be back tomorrow.